Hello and welcome to Animal Earth with the barking mad Emma Kenny.
And the lovable scruff Peter Smith.
I like the lovable part.
Well, you're kind of lovable, but you're very scruffy as well. Anyway, coming up today, we will be dropping in on our adorable friend Molly the Cockapoo, testing out some dog products with our experts and having a visit from our favourite four-legged friends.
We have some great news to start off with. The government has now said that by 2020, wild animals will be banned from being used in travelling circuses, which is a great victory for animal welfare, I reckon.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, it has been reported now that the final male northern white rhino has passed away, which means there's only 2 females left in the world.
It's so important that we appreciate our animals more to prevent extinction from happening.
Yes, definitely. On a lighter note, for animal news, since today's show is all about dogs, we can't go without mentioning Crufts. Did you get to see any of it, Pete?
I did. I saw it and I watch it every year. It's one of my favourite shows and I do look forward to it.
And of course, stealing the show last week was Tease the Whippet, who won the main award of Best in Show.
At only 2 years old, Tease beat 21,000 adorable dogs to win the title, taking a crown from runner-up Chili, the pointer dog, a deserving winner and an all-around great show.
In other news this week, Kenwith Castle Care Home in Bideford have been the first in the UK to introduce robotic therapy pets for elderly service users.
Robotic therapy pets, that's a really interesting use of modern technology. Therapy pets can also be useful to help people. And joining us here to talk about how dogs can be used for the service, we have Eileen from Therapy Dogs Nationwide, accompanied, of course, by her own pet, Mr. Bojangles. Welcome to the show.
So Eileen, tell us, what prompted you to set up Therapy Dogs Nationwide?
Mainly to get more volunteer input. It was a throwaway remark from a friend of mine, why don't you start a charity of your own? And I said to my husband, I can't do that. He said, well, why not? I said, well, I don't know anybody that has ever started up a charity. He says, yeah, but you do if you think about it. Anyway, I found 4 other friends who have diverse interests, and we ended up as the founders of Therapy Dogs Nationwide.
Gosh, that's fantastic. So what are the requirements for a dog to become a therapy dog?
Well, it's their natural temperament we're after. Chilled out, able to sustain lots and lots of loving, able to be touched anywhere on their bodies without grumbling, and to take a treat nicely. They have to go through an assessment test, which takes about 3/4 of an hour, and we try to put them through different scenarios of what they might come across, like bangs or loud noises and things like that. And it's not how they react, it's how they recover that we're looking for.
Wow, that's fantastic. So why do you think that therapy dogs are so important to vulnerable people?
I think more than anything is they take people's minds off whatever is upsetting them. They just stroke the dog. It de-stresses. I mean, everybody knows if you sit at home, you automatically stroke your dog, and it lowers your blood pressure.
Very true. Very true.
That's fantastic. Now, clearly dogs are great company for people. We'll be back with Eileen later in the show. But first, let's race over to our field presenter, Jacob, who's over in Liverpool, and he's reporting on a very special fundraiser.
Hey there, I'm Jacob and we're at Tales in the City, and this is Julia. Nice to meet you, Julia.
Nice to meet you.
So please, how are you doing today?
Yeah, very well. I've been around so many dogs. It's always good.
It's so many here today. It's great. And it's all for this K99K, which looks like a great event. You looking forward to it?
I am, can't wait. The walk's just going to be really good. Seeing so many people support the charity, yeah, it'd be good.
What a great place to start as Tales in the City. Can you just tell us a bit more about it?
It's a dog socialisation centre, and it's for people to use as a daycare for their dogs when they're at work, so the dogs aren't home alone all day. It enables the dogs to socialise and learn from each other, so it's very beneficial to the dogs. It's almost like a dog school.
And obviously we're all here today for Sunflowers charity, which is what everything the K99K is going for. Do you have a personal connection with the charity?
I think everybody's been affected by cancer, so so it's good to be able to support this charity. Any support we can give, we will.
Touching piece with Julie from Tales in the City. Now let's head over to Sunflowers and see how they're getting on. So, Bobby, you work here at Sunflowers, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
So, do you want to give us an introduction into your role?
So my role is the development manager, so we're looking for new different ways to fundraise, to bring more awareness to the centre. For us as well, it's to make sure as many people know that we're here.
Oh, that's incredible. And part of that, coming up with new ideas, was today the K99K.
The K99K, well, it's a year of the dog. It's a Chinese year of the dog.
Of course it is, yeah.
So we were trying to link something in with that. We know that, you know, there's a lot of people locally have dogs, but also linking what I just said, you know, when you think of people with cancer, there's the words that get thrown around like bravery, fighting, you know, these are all the things you've heard before, but the words that you don't really hear that have a lot of impact are loneliness and companionship. Dogs are a huge company for people with cancer.
So you're saying like this whole companionship and helping people is something that Sunflowers is all about?
It is, yeah. So Sunflowers is here, not just for the person with cancer, it's here for the families of them. We've got funding for about 4 months left. We had NHS funding that was cut last March.
Oh.
So that's why events such as this today really generate some money to bring in and keep us going.
Well, that's brilliant. How do you feel the event's gone today?
It's been brilliant. Yeah, I think the weather's always helpful.
It's lasted a little bit longer, hasn't it?
Yeah. With any kind of event, the weather always helps. But just people have got really behind it. We've had a great dimension of all different types of dogs, different types of people. You're walking people across into the centre, you know, to a place they might not have known about.
And then they definitely know that you are here as
that
well,
we're here,
as you were saying
pick
before.
up all the information.
So, why do you think Sunflowers is so useful in the community of Liverpool itself?
Yeah, for the community focus, it's somewhere where we're pretty much one of the last places where people with cancer can come. I think you've got to look at it like when you break your leg and you go to hospital. You know, when you get let out of hospital, no one's going to be there to kind of go, right, I'm going to come and do your physio for you, I'm going to come and do this. You're on your own. And that's the same with cancer. After you've had chemo, when you're going through, it's not like someone's going to come home and go, right, you need to eat this, you need to exercise more, you need to get your head clear. And that's what Sunflowers is for, and that's why it's making such a big difference.
Thank you for everyone who got involved today. Because of you, Sunflowers raised an amazing £2,200. For more information on how you can donate, contact Sunflowers on 01517 268 934, or alternatively via the on-screen information.
What a fun event with a great cause. It looks like everyone had a brilliant time, but I'm sure all those dogs all needed a bath after playing in the mud, don't you think?
I'm sure they did. Now, Eileen, we saw before that your dogs are obviously a great support to people who are struggling with trauma. And in certain difficult circumstances, like the Florida shooting, where they actually took therapy dogs into the school after that happened, can you give us some examples of how you've seen dogs used in similar circumstances?
Well, we sent dogs into Grenfell Towers
Wow.
2 days after the big disaster. We were asked to send them in, and the difference they made, just to give, take people's minds off the trauma, that the horrible thing that they're going through, just to talk to them, just to laugh with them, even if it's just for a few minutes, it just relieves that stress over the trauma.
So they used them after the Manchester bombing as well. They took the
Yeah.
therapy dogs
Yeah.
there, which is absolutely fantastic. What sort of breeds do therapy dogs come from? Is it just one specific breed, like Mr. Bojangles, or?
No, any breed. We've got from Chihuahuas to St Bernards and Leon Burgers, one extreme to the other, including some that you would never think of, and that's Staffordshire Bull Terriers
Wow.
and German Shepherds. Which have a bad name, but they are wonderful dogs.
I do, Staffordshire Bull Terriers, yeah.
Well, Staffordshire Bull Terriers are called the nanny dogs.
I know, that's amazing.
Because in the 50s and 60s, when mums and dads used to put their prams outside the front door, they used to put the dog with them to protect the babies.
I genuinely didn't know that, because
Yeah.
they do often get in use
They
for
do,
things that
yes.
are more negative. But that's the owners, as we all know.
Yes.
Is there a particular type of vulnerable that the dogs work best with, or would you say it's just generic and they can be used in any circumstance?
They can be used in any circumstances, and some of the stories that our volunteers can tell are amazing. They really are. I mean, last Saturday, Bangles was in the library, in the children's library, and we had a little boy come to us, and he sat and read out loud And I just thought, oh, isn't this nice? And it wasn't until afterwards Mum said, I have never heard him speak out loud reading.
Wow.
And that brings you think, oh, well, that's just how they are. They're non-judgmental of the dogs and give the children confidence.
I mean, obviously, you're a charity, so would you like to see funding put into this so it could be extrapolated across, for example, education where children have got special needs?
Yes, and we do have dogs in special needs. I mean, our charity is for a free service for everybody,
Wow.
and it's free to free assessments. So if you want your dog assessed, it doesn't cost you anything, and if they don't pass the assessment, we tell you what to work on, and then you can come back. So that's all free.
Fantastic. So they'd be quite good at using as PTSD, wouldn't it? Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes, they are.
like
Yeah, they have Help for Heroes,
I know that
Hounds for Heroes for PTSD. But we use them in stroke victims as well in hospitals to make them people with paralysed arms or limbs to stroke them because they want to stroke them, or take their coats on and off. Even if they have tricks going round and round people with stroke, people can turn with them.
That's
so
amazing.
it just makes.
Can you use rescue dogs?
Of course you can.
Really?
It just takes a little longer for the owner to relate to the dog and get them to love and to be chilled out. But no, it's the natural temperament. Once the rescue dog is happy where it is, it'll be fine.
That's really good.
Brilliant. Thank you, Eileen. And Mr. Bojangles, for your time. If you would like to know more about therapy dogs nationwide, go to the website on screen now or follow their social media.
Now, I'm sure after a day of helping people, Mr. Bojangles loves to play. So let's take a walk over to the garden to have a look at what products you can use to keep your pet entertained. Now we have a really lovely range here, and I'm going to go through them with my lovely assistant here.
Absolutely. They've all kindly been donated by the Dogs Diner on the Wirral, so let's take a look at them.
Okay, the first thing we're going to look at is the treat ball. It's called Kong Gyro. Now, this is actually really interesting. It might look a bit strange, but it's good because it keeps your dog entertained because you put a treat inside it and the dog can spin it around to get the treats out for food. So it keeps them active and it can be really helpful for dogs that are anxious, for example. It's £10.99, which might sound a little bit expensive, but genuinely, if you have a dog that needs to be entertained, £10.99 is worth every penny, believe me.
That's for the large one, it is.
That's for the large one. Now we've got the penguin, though you can select a cuddly toy of any type that you would potentially like. This is £3.75. They've got lots of range of different animals. And again, that's about comforting. It's cheap enough for any dog to have, and it does work well with small dogs. I can testify because I've got small dogs. Then we've got the soft, squeaky toy, which is called the Kong Hugs.
This bad boy?
That's £7.99. That might sound a little bit expensive, but genuinely, for £7.99, the great thing about this is dogs tend to bite through squeaks, and there's nothing more disappointing than spending your money and then feeling that the toy isn't doing what it wants. But this actually will still squeak when your dog's destroyed it, and that's kind of cute at £7.99.
It's a never-ending squeak toy.
Yes, there are negatives to squeak toys, but never mind. Goggle Stopper, bizarre name, but actually ingenious. One of the problems that you have with dogs is the fact that they gobble their food very quickly, and that causes bloating. It can be very uncomfortable for the dog. And what this does, you put it in the bowl, and it means that they cannot get to the food as fast, takes them time to eat, stops them bloating, stops them vomiting, and for £8.99, it's worth the money, and also it's dishwasher proof. So bang on there.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that I never really have used is this. It's a clicker. Eileen, I'm going to make you do this because you're far more of an expert than I'll ever be. £1.49, tell us what it's for.
Well, it captures the behaviour that you want. Bang or sit. That's it.
Look at that.
So to get them to know what the clicker's for, you throw food on the floor, and every time they pick it up, you click. Are you ready?
Show us some tricks.
Are you ready? Banglies.
Don't feel any pressure, Mr. Bangles.
Oh.
The whole world's watching you.
1, 2, 3. Come on, hop.
Oh, you
Yes!
look at that.
Good boy.
God, they say never work with pets or animals, you know, but I think we've got evidence that you should always work with
Mr.
them.
Bojangles is a class act.
That's £1.49, so again, really accessible for every dog owner, and everybody
definitely.
should have it, yeah?
Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
What happens if you get dirty?
Well, I don't know about you, Eileen, but when I take the dogs out for a walk and they come in, the house stinks.
It does.
And for anybody out there who wants to buy something that will make a difference to your doggy dearest life, this kind of product is amazing. It's simply conditioner. It means that you can give them a lovely wash. They come out smelling literally of roses. And the best thing of that is that it means that your whole home doesn't smell disgusting. And I can tell you now, for £5.99, that's an utter bargain, and you should probably go out and buy a bucket full.
Absolutely.
And if you're on a bit of a budget, of course, we've always got something for you. So here are some alternatives that we have, and you can get them at Poundland, you can get them at B&M Bargains, and basically for £1, they are an utter treat. And there's no excuse not to give your dogs these.
Oh, look at that. Mr. Bojangles is doing some
I'd like to say I trained him, but I've been lying. Simple as that.
What cool products dogs have time and time again, proven to be man's best friend. So why not treat your fluffy best friend to a day out? Let's take a look at some dog-friendly destinations.
Today, we're in the quiet little town of Ormskirk, situated between Liverpool and Manchester, to show to you that you don't go to the city to have fun with your dog. Ormskirk has a rich history of dogs dating all the way back to 1189 AD, when working dogs were used regularly to help support the farms of local families.
In terms of this type of dog, he's a nervous dog, and we live in quite a rural location, so it's really good for him to come into an area where there's people and other dogs.
Today, Ormskirk has a small, thriving town centre with a population of 24,000, and that's not counting all the canine companions that we're here to see today. Right now, we are joined by Sky, the beautiful, energetic collie, to test out today's locations. Our first stop today is a local cafe, which prides itself on its welcoming hospitality and dog-friendly attitude. Cobble was originally a juice bar, formerly known as Java, which was later rebranded into the cafe we know today. Named after the profession of the founder's grandfather, Cobble still holds strong family values. Cobble is a place which you and your fluffy friend can enjoy. After our trip to Cobble, we move on to Coronation Park to give Sky a chance to stretch her legs and get a breath of fresh air. Coronation Park, which covers 20 acres of urban green space, is situated right in the centre of Ormskirk.
It's a lovely walk around here, and you meet so many, so many interesting people.
Founded in 1903, Coronation Park holds the prestigious Green Flag Award, recognising the park's natural beauty and community involvement, including the dog-friendly atmosphere.
There's lots of open spaces where dogs can go for walks here. And the town's really dog-friendly, most of the cafes and restaurants.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
After a trip around the park, our stomachs are growling, so we head off to the nearby Toby Carberry, a family and dog-friendly restaurant. This is the self-proclaimed home of the roast, just what we're ready for. At this restaurant, dogs are allowed in the bar area, but it's a lively atmosphere and music fills the background. While Sky takes a much needed nap, we treat ourselves by tucking into a roast dinner that brings back our energy so we're ready for more outdoors fun. Covering 19 acres of mixed woodland, Rough Woods was donated to the local council in 1912 by a local benefactor.
There's lots of nature around here as well, and you can see woodpeckers.
Within the centre of the wood, the remains of an old quarry are all that is left of an important site which provided sandstone to build the houses of Ormskirk in the 19th century.
I think the people are nice and they know how to look after the dogs, and there's lots of nice, friendly places to take dogs.
After a tiring game of playing fetch, we find ourselves quite parched, and so it's off for a drink at the Stanley Gate pub. With dogs allowed in the bar area and an array of biscuits provided for Sky, this quaint pub will welcome you and your canine companion with open arms. Previously a farmhouse built in the 1900s, the Stanley Gate has retained some of its older characteristics, such as beams and fireplaces, while bringing in elements of the new with artistic walls and chalkboards, leaving friendly notices all around. With welcoming staff and warm atmosphere, the Stanley Gate is the perfect place to call it a day with Sky's dog-friendly guide to this pleasant Lancashire town.
Wow, those places look wonderful. So joining us now, we have a number of visitors who are going to be showcasing some fashion items that your canine companion might like.
So firstly, we have Willow wearing a bright high visibility jacket.
Hello Willow, don't you just look the most fantastic gentleman?
Now this high-vis jacket that Willow's wearing is $14.99. That's for the large size, so obviously the smaller sizes will be a little bit cheaper. And that's from the Dog's Diner. And it's absolutely fantastic, as you can see.
Do you know, it's great though, because genuinely visibility at night is a problem, particularly when you've got a dog that dark, you literally can't see them, and cars very often speed past you at a rate of knots. So anything that can give visibility is really useful, and if you've got a big dog, that can be really helpful as well, because obviously it means that people who are a little bit scared of the animals at that size can avoid you instead of having a panic attack when they walk past you.
Fantastic, thank you very much.
Okay,
Willow.
thank you. So the next up is Percy. Now, Percy is going to be on here with a special lead and collar.
Hello, Percy.
The collar and lead says nervous, and the reason for that is that what we know, a lot of people struggle to let other people know that they don't want their dogs coming near them. These are actually designed so that if you're a dog walker, you're not going to go and send your dog over there to see them. It's $9.99 for the collar, it's $9.99 for the lead. Again, they can come from the Dog's Diner, you'll probably be able to get them on the internet as well. But the most important thing is it avoids difficult conversations and makes sure that your doggy enjoys the walk.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Next up, we have Honey, who's wearing her coat.
Hello,
Now, Honey is quite an old dog, so this is absolutely fantastic for keeping her warm.
Honey, you don't look a day over 2. But the good thing about this kind of jacket is, one, it's waterproof, and secondly, it means that if you have dogs that are small dogs shake a great deal, and it can be quite actually distressing when you've got a small dog seeing them shake. So these can just give them that additional benefit of a little bit of warmth on those cold winter mornings.
Absolutely, and it's only $7.99.
That's a
You can get it from the range, obviously Pets at Home, and B&M Bargains.
It's pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere, especially the B&M Bargains, they are everywhere, aren't they?
Thank you.
Thank you very
And
much.
finally, last but not least, and just as important as all of our other pups, we have Benny.
Yes,
Benny! You look absolutely stunning, modelling what seems to be a knitted apéritif. It's an amazing jumper. It's only $6.99. You can get it from B&M Bargains. Now, just to say, if you are a dog owner, remember, woolen tops look cute, but when they're out in the rain, they're very heavy and a bit annoying. So try to make sure that you only take them out when it's dry. Just giving you a bit of life advice there.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Benny. You look like a little dog model on the catwalk there. Absolutely fantastic. So, thank you very much to our little canine models today.
I'm sure they all enjoyed being famous for a little while. Talking of famous dogs, let's check out a social media star.
My name's Katie, this is Marley. She's 2 years old and she's a cockapoo. So I got her when she was about 12 weeks old. I went to Cheshire to pick her up. I'd seen a picture of her online and I was like, I want her, yeah, she's the one. What do I do on Instagram? A lot of it's just like, I enjoy taking pictures of Marley, and I originally started doing it so that people weren't getting sick of like pictures of her on my own Instagram. So I started one of her, and then I got more into photography because of her, and so it just kind of went from there really. I just like posting pictures of her. It first started not long after I got her, but it's only in the last year or so that I started taking it seriously. So in the first year, probably just with like natural growth, she gained around 4,000 followers, and then in the next year when I started taking it seriously and like collaborating with people and stuff, she gained around like 18,000. We've had loads of opportunities from her Instagram. She's now signed with a dog agency. It's like the biggest dog agency in the UK. So we've worked with like Ford cars, and she's on the packaging for pet food at Pets at Home. Marley's online following is amazing. Like we get like the nicest comments all the time. My parents show all their friends like it's the grandchild. Like, oh, this is Marley, this is what she's doing now, look at my daughter's dog and all this. So they absolutely love it. So Marley's favourite thing to do is basically anything outside. She absolutely loves like anything where she's off the lead and she can run around. everybody loves Marley. Like, people react to her all the same, really. Like, oh my god, she's so cute. She looks like a teddy bear, so it's quite good, and she's really nice-natured, so she's always happy to be around people, so everyone loves her. My funniest memory of Marley is probably, we went to Delamere Forest in Cheshire. Marley, she absolutely loves the water, she went straight in, but it's not a proper lake, it's like a bog, so she came out and she was like pitch black, completely covered in mud. It was like a half-term day, so there was loads of kids about, and obviously people are usually like, oh Marley, she's so cute and stuff, but everyone was like screaming and running away from her. She's a bit of a mud monster. One of my happiest memories with Marley is probably like when I first picked her up, but also like seeing her grow and like teaching her new things and new tricks, just spending time with her in general, really. She's pretty cool. I feel like if you get a dog, it should be like a main part of your life. Like Marley's with me maybe like 80-90% of the time. She is everything. She's pretty awesome. She's a good dog. You can follow Marley on @Cockapoo Marley on Instagram. So.
Oh, what a special bond between Katie and Marley. We want to see the bond between you and your pet. So, some of our lovely viewers have been sending pictures of their favourite four-legged friends.
So let's see what adorable pictures you at home have been sending in using the Animal Earth hashtag.
Here is the cute Olaf enjoying the snow. Almost can't tell that Olaf's in that picture because he is actually identical to the snow.
Absolutely. Rachel sent us this wonderful picture of her best friend who's just turned 9 years old.
Giving a high five there. I'd like to say my dogs can high five, but right now they can't do very much at all, but never mind. And here is Luca's dog, Luigi, the Italian, clearly, enjoying the beach. Maybe that is in Italy, who knows?
Absolutely. Looks warm enough. And finally, this spoilt little pup, Oscar, was sent in by Sophie. And you can see how spoilt he is. He's all wrapped up.
He looks like he's wrapped up warm and cosy.
He does, absolutely. So that's it from us today at Animal Earth.
Thank you to all of our wonderful guests. And of course, you at home for watching. Make sure to join us again next week as Pete meets his perfect match.
I do. From everyone here at Animal Earth, goodbye.
Goodbye. Coming up in next week's show, everyone in the studio goes positively crazy over a guest.
And Jacob bites off a little more than he can chew with the big cats.
And we meet the staff of Latham Pet Shop to discuss the issue around cat hoarding in the UK.
And don't forget, you can send us pictures of your own feline friends using the hashtag AnimalEarthTV.
Also, be sure to check out our website for behind the scenes of everything shown today and more.